Well, thank you so much for being here today. It feels so good to be amongst friends and be able to speak with all of you about who I am. First and foremost, my name is Ryan Gonzalez. I'm part of the Army for Freedom, and I'm running to be the next congressman for Colorado's 8th Congressional District. This district is a new district. It's anticipated to be one of the most competitive districts in the entire nation in a state where Joe Biden won by about 13 percentage points. And it's mainly nearly 40% Hispanic. So I believe that I can give these Democrats a run for their money. And obviously why I'm here today is so you guys get to know me, I get to know you. And I'm not running to just be a traditional, typical politician who, originally has good intentions and then loses their way. I'm running because I feel no matter who we elect, our lives stay the same. They don't care about us. They just want our vote and our money. And that's it. And frankly, the reason why we have the mess we are in now is because we have allowed it to happen. We continue to vote for these people when we must realize that our politicians are in fact a reflection of our culture, of who we are, right? And right now what we're seeing is people are starting to wake up and realize that the traditional career politician model has failed us. When we realize that political service is a duty to our communities, we have forgotten that it should be the citizen leadership that takes over. It shouldn't be these career politicians who tout their experience, but at the end of the day, we forget that it's bad experience. But they have the money, right? They have the connections, and I'm a grassroots candidate. I'm like many of you. I am one of you. I'm the outsider. I believe in working for the people. People like us, our friends, our families, our neighbors, the people we care about, our small businesses. And more so with a pandemic that has been weaponized to overreach and to really infringe upon our rights, which is what it is. And now, with what's going on is, it's not just shutdowns. It's either you get the vaccine or you starve or you don't have a job. And I believe in medical freedom. I believe in principles. And I believe that we have the opportunity to win people over across the aisle, not just Republicans or Libertarians, but Democrats. People who are tired of the status quo. And how we can do that? Let's talk about principles, right? How every single person is created equal. How every single person has natural, inalienable rights. Rights that cannot be taken away from you. They can't be changed. They can't be modified. And the proper role of government is to protect your rights, our rights. Nothing more and nothing less. But we have seen the bureaucracy in DC continue to metastasize and grow in the name of agencies and worthless programs that are supposed to be temporary, but in the long run end up becoming permanent, pumping taxpayer dollars at our expense, a depleting deficit, when businesses are supposed to balance their budgets, right? Banks are supposed to balance their budgets. Corporations are supposed to balance their budgets. Why isn't our government doing that? They have mismanaged our money. Now, mind you, these are people that think they know what they're doing, but they continue to put our generation, my generation, and those after us, our children, to face the repercussions of that debt, the crushing debt, right? Now, the debt is obviously composed of three. It's net interest, discretionary spending, and mandatory spending. But the net interest of what we have borrowed is going to only expedite from here. We were only supposed to hit 20-some trillion dollars by the end of the decade, and we've superseded that, superseding over 100% of our GDP. Unfunded liabilities, Social Security, and the like, $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities. That equates to over $800,000 per taxpayer of your money that you had no control over how they spent it, and now we have to foot the bill. It's ridiculous. Donald Trump showed us that you do not have to be a politician to beat a politician. Lauren Boebert showed us you do not have to be a politician to beat a politician. These people have lost their way. We need people who actually genuinely understand and know the struggles we face, whether it's living paycheck to paycheck, healthcare, student loans. I personally have student loans, $30,000 worth. And I am completely opposed to canceling student loan debt because I believe it is not fair for you to pay my bill of going to college of a choice that I made, let alone I would certainly not want to pay for somebody else's bill. I think it's wrong. They're creating a sense of entitlement, specifically with the young people that the government is going to here to take care of you. But what we realize is government, it's like poison ivy. Everything it touches, it ruins. If we go back to the basic principles of what government should be about, then I believe we can change it. But right now, the opportunity for this country, it's shrinking. And this moment, this window of opportunity that we have is not going to be there forever. We still are at a critical point where we can take our country back, but we need to stick together. And we need to win the people over on the other side of the aisle, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not just African Americans or LGBT Americans or Muslim Americans. We're Americans, period. End of story. These people want to keep us divided on our race, on our identity, on our political affiliation, and this is how they seize control. With the help of the media, of course, but I am completely the opposite of what these people say the narrative in this country is. I do not believe that white people, all of them, are racist. The same way I believe that I am not here, I'm not suppressed. I don't believe in systemic racism. I have a dream where white people and black people and every single color in between will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. The words of MLK, who, if he could see right now what's going on in this country, would be rolling over in his grave. The same way our founders would be weeping if they could see how far we have fallen, because we have allowed it. When 9/11 happened, 9/12, the next day, most of you remember, the day we came together, we were united. We helped each other, right? And that was in the midst of a catastrophe. And now we face even a bigger catastrophe worldwide with this pandemic that has been weaponized to go after your rights, to tell you what you can and cannot do, to tell you had to stay home, to tell you had to close your business, to tell you couldn't go to church. It went too far. And with the traditional leadership and the same politicians that we continue to run, nothing is ever going to change. We need new outsiders, people like us. And frankly, the notion that racism is real, I've experienced it. I'm not here to tell you it's not. But at the end of the day, what I like to say is talking to them and reaching over the aisle with them. But Ryan, you're Mexican, but you're young, but they don't like your kind, but you're going to get deported. You're just a coconut. These are things that I have experienced and been said to. But it hasn't been from conservatives or Republicans. It's been from these people who say they tout diversity and tolerance and acceptance. And I am everything that these people are afraid of. And I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for you to get behind me because I can't do this alone. I want to fight for you. I want to represent you. I want to work for you. A fiduciary responsibility to my constituents. Because we have to remember, our elected officials aren't there to serve themselves. They're here to serve us. And that's the principles we need to go to of limited government, governed by consent, self-restraint, self-reliance. Let's talk about principles. Let's win our people over. But let's get together, let's join hands. And I'm asking for your support. I invite you to go to my website, ryanforco.com, ryanforco.com. I have my platform, I have a bio, and I have an announcement video as well. And I would love to get your support in any way I can. Thank you so much.